About. All right. All right. Hello, Victor. Thank you for joining this mock interview today, and welcome to our interview.
Hello, Christopher. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. So my name is Victor, as you know. So I'm a front-end developer with 4 years experience. I specialize to work with React and Redux to build my projects usually. Also, I use TypeScripts. Um, the my current company is Samsara. I work in Samsara as a front-end developer right now. So we use in our projects React, and also
Oh, nice.
all
Good.
right. I
It's
just
it's
don't
good.
know how the main topics. What kind of other main topic that I need to tell? Like it's experience, it's my tools, what I use, experience, and what else? Like
This is one of the most important questions in one of the most asked questions during the interview. Um, you have to prepare. I think we're going to be covering it. We're going to cover it today, and later you're going to be covering, and you're going to have to prepare a nice speech.
Mhm.
Um, so you say like a pray, like you ask you, and you step by step you have to answer it without
I see.
like any doubt. Okay. All right. Can you tell me a little bit about your project? What libraries did you use beside React?
What library you mean? Or
Yeah,
so
what
I
library
see.
did you use for your project?
So one of these Redux, I use also Redux uh, to manage the states in my projects. And also that's the main libraries what I use in my projects in our company, React and Redux. That's all. It's enough for us to build all our product, all our developers, they are specialized on Redux and React.
Mhm. I'm sorry, I'm switching to my mobile internet. Can you hear me well?
Sure, yeah, I can hear.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Did you use any other libraries than React and Redux?
So no, I don't
No.
use them. Uh, yeah, Takhir, just one more thing.
Mhm.
We are trying to pretend that it's real interview, but uh, during this interview, can I ask you like you as a Takhir, not like a real interviewer? Because I, yeah,
Uh,
you asked me about the libraries. I know only React and
mhm.
Redux, to be honest. Is some other libraries we use in our cohort? We learned in this cohort, or
Did you use Formic or Formic library?
no?
No.
We didn't use.
Uh,
CTEC.
okay. Did you use Axios for fetching requests?
Yeah, is it library? Yeah.
Uh, looks like libraries is some sort of code you borrow from outside and can use for your project. So, like, you can this question you can mention the libraries like React, Redux, or you can mention something you put in your dependency in your package JSON. So when you look at your package JSON, it's gonna have a list of uh, project developments and dev developments. You may say we use library for like testing. It's maybe
Uh,
library as well.
you said the JavaScript libraries, but the material UI is not JavaScript library, right? It's
Uh,
more like CSS library, not literally CSS. But
yeah, it's also a library. Is if I'm not mistaken,
JavaScript.
material UI is a library.
All right, okay, I see. I just saw in your face that React in Redux is not enough.
Usually in project they have a big list
Yeah.
of libraries.
Try to recall.
Like
Okay.
if you say just two, it's not gonna be like, see, oh, just two. Okay. All right. Can you tell me what is briefly explain me what is a Redux library, what you and how you use it in your project?
Right. The Redux, the main reason why we use Redux in our company to build our projects is to manage statement. It's very good and very useful to keep all our states in a single file. Because if I will not use Redux, I need to keep all states in their own components, and to send to another component, I will need to use a lot of things, a lot of steps. I need to spend a lot of props. So with Redux, I can do it in one place. I can keep all states in one place and send wherever I want from there.
What other benefits do you know about Redux library?
Mm, so I think
Uh,
another the most important benefits.
that's okay if you cannot list. Um,
It's
can you
just from
tell
my
me?
experience here because I saw only these benefits with using
Mhm.
Redux.
Yeah. Did you use any other state management in your project, or some, or at least context API?
So the React has his own. I used API. Yeah, I use it. The tool. Unfortunately, I can't recall the name of this tool. Give me like a couple seconds. Look, recall it. It's also to manage the statement, to not keep in different components them. That calls API.
Context API?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
Mhm.
I use context API also.
Yeah. And what is the difference between context API and Redux? Is it like, why did you use both?
So Redux has advantages than context API. When I use context API, I can just uh keep them, keep the states in one place and send them. But with Redux, I can have all logic how to change my state, how to update them in one place, also inside my slice,
Mhm.
and just dispatch that actions when where I want.
Mhm. Nice, nice. All right. Can you tell me what kind of hooks do you use in your project, and what kind of hooks do you know?
I use React hooks. Usually, most of them is use state and also use effect. Sometimes, if I don't need use state, I use useref. And also, sometimes I create the custom hooks to implement some logic.
Can you
And
tell me what is a custom hook did you implement last time?
no, Tahir, I lied about custom hooks. Just I didn't expect that you would ask me about it.
But it's this question. It could be.
Yeah, you can.
It should be expected.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to make much bigger list like this, and
Mhm.
put it inside.
Uh, yeah. I'm asking you this question that you probably gonna be facing at least one time, maybe more often.
What
Especially the hooks. It's one of the favorite topic interviewers to ask about hooks. Hooks. It's because why I'm telling. Can you tell me what is the React hook and why they necessary? Why they, when they, and how they was implemented or invented?
Sorry, this question not really clear for me. uh, are you asking about why do we use hooks? Like what the advantages of hooks or what?
Yeah, what advantages and can you tell me? Can we talk about hooks on like in general? Do you know why developers invented hooks and use them?
So
It's,
actually, yeah, the hooks. We use hooks.
what problem do they solve in in React development? React hooks.
What problems in hooks?
What problems do they solve? Why?
Oh,
Yeah. How are they helpful in general?
so yeah, I just know like how works. Like I know what the advantages of use state or use effect, but you're asking about like in general the benefits of
Yeah.
just hooks in general. Um, uh, so we cannot build our React projects without hook. It's very important for using React. I think the benefits is hook can accept some function inside,
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit similar to higher order functions. But I would say they are helping to manage with states, but not all of them. Yeah, like user we cannot change our state.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to work with class components or class-based component in React?
This class component, no, to be honest, no, because our company already solved it, or they already changed all class components to functional components. So I didn't have a chance to work.
Mm-hmm. Nice, good. Okay, nice. Can you tell me what is a virtual DOM?
All right. So virtual DOM, it's the copy of origin of real DOM. So it is gonna come with React. So when we are building our project with React, he's gonna create the virtual DOM. It helps us to improve. mm, yeah, it's about my language. Let me just find a better word in English to.
Yeah, your English is perfect.
I mean, it's gonna improve the loading. Like it's gonna make faster when our page is gonna loading. Because if I will change some part of my code, he's not gonna change the real DOM. He will change my virtual DOM and he will compare with real DOM that part. If this part is different than original DOM, he's gonna change only this part in original DOM. I mean, he's gonna refresh all original DOM. He will just check it always, and it will make our project faster, like to show in our website.
Efficient. Nice, nice. Okay. And you, it's just side questions. If you know what kind of hooks can manipulate with the real DOM, uh, like directly with the real DOM, do you know some sort of hooks in React?
It's a really interesting question. I never think about it because usually when I use state, he's gonna change my virtual DOM. He's like the reason why I use the hooks to not change the original DOM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of hooks they can change the original
Mm-hmm.
DOM. It would be great to know from you if you can just give me a couple examples.
Yeah. You already mentioned you use
Yeah.
ref hook. Yeah, it's one of the hooks they can avoid a virtual DOM and access the real DOM
Yeah.
in your project. Yeah, use refs. It's not highly recommended to use it every time, but sometimes it can be a good idea to use it. Use ref. Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, if I knew the topic of today's interview, I would prepare. Yes.
Yeah. Um, can you tell me what is a React component lifecycle?
Sure, yeah. So it's 3 steps, actually, usually. It's
Mhm.
mounting process. Mm, I know that it's 3 steps. I don't know why, but right now it's the second thing is doesn't come to my mind. The last third part is unmounting. We have a in the middle that a part when we are uh
Update.
updating. Yeah, thank you very much. When it's updating.
Updating.
Mounting, updating,
Yeah.
and unmounting. This is life cycle of component. When we
Mhm.
open our component or page for the first time, he's gonna mount. Yeah. When we close, leave this component, he's gonna unmount.
Mhm. Okay, that's nice. And can you tell me how can we access each of component lifecycle? Not exactly, I mean, just on a high level, how would you access each of this lifecycle? What could help you to do so?
Yeah, usually I work with use effects to do this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. All right. What kind of techniques did you use to optimize your React web application?
What do you mean by techniques? Like some hooks, tools, or
Hook tools or approaches in general if to make your application faster or more efficient?
sometime I use memo. It's hook of React. So I'm gonna use them for components. If I don't wanna them to be like loading with my other, I can just use memo to skip this component.
Mhm.
It's really helpful. Mm, yeah, usually I use in other stuffs, but I can't recall the name of them right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, right now I can say only use memo. It just came in my mind right now.
Mhm. Nice. Use callback and
Yes, it's very similar.
similar. Uh, what is a use callback hook? Can you tell me what is that about?
No, because I didn't have a chance to use them, but real,
Mhm.
I just heard about once in our class. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Could you tell me about the tests? What kind of testing do you use for your applications? Do you use unit tests?
Yes, I usually in our company we use Jest for testing. Um, yeah, there's
Mhm.
different ways to test, but we use Jest.
Mhm. So you use it for unit testing or for what kind of testing?
What kind of testing are there?
What kind of tests do you run with Jest library?
I don't know, like type of test, like unit test and other tests.
Mhm. Like component tests,
So I use Jest
end-to-end tests.
to test my function. If I
Okay.
implement some function and I wanna test it, like do I return what I need? I use Jest for test my function. Is it unit
Mhm.
test? Or-
Mhm. Do
Yeah.
you use RTL, React Testing Library?
No, I didn't have a chance to use it.
Nice. Okay,
When you
good.
say nice or excellent, it make me feel so like you're talking with like kid.
Um, yeah, I'm actually asking those questions I've been asked during the interview, and I was struggled sometimes as well with these questions. All right.
Unit test.
Did you have a chance to work with CDN?
No, I didn't have just
No.
no.
Okay, that's okay. All right. Can you tell me difference between TypeScript and JavaScript? Do you use JavaScript, TypeScript in your project?
Yeah, we use TypeScript to in our projects always. So TypeScript is just gonna help us to solving uh so as you know, the TypeScript is just for typing our uh elements, like what kind of element we are gonna use. So if I will not use TypeScript, we have like big projects, a lot of data, a lot of informations. If we will not use TypeScript, we are gonna get confused what kind of data I had, like what type of data I had, and it's really confusing.
Mhm. Nice. All right. Can you tell me your steps? How would you troubleshoot your application if you face any bug or any issue with the application?
So yeah, of course. I don't work on all my projects, so I work on some part of some of the in my if I have a problem with my ticket, usually with implementation, uh, I always use console log. My experience is really helpful to know like what step is gonna give me error, and there's a lot of stuffs to check it, but in my experience I'm really good to use console logs because other things I can just calculate in my mind, like if here I don't see my console log or he's giving me some error, I can like calculate other stuffs in my mind, just okay, I will do this.
Mhm. Nice. Do you use some sort of debugger in your project or your maybe IDE?
What was it
Uh,
exactly?
do, do, Debugger?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. We in our company we use debugger tool, and we sometimes run it while investigating the issues. All right. Sounds great. Sounds great. What else? Um, Could you tell me about the most recent ticket you was or feature you implemented about in your React project?
uh, I'm sorry, yeah, I didn't answer your question, can you please repeat it?
Can you tell me the recent ticket or feature you implemented to your React application?
Recent means last, right, or current?
The last one, yes, the last ticket you was working on.
So yeah, the last ticket was about to we have a project which has information about the vehicles in our company. It's for our drivers. They can see what vehicles we have in our company. So my ticket was to show what maintenances I have. So what maintenances has the each vehicle. So by clicking
Mhm.
that vehicle, he can see all informations like when the started the maintenance, like the date, it completed like or not. So I didn't have any problems with implementing this my ticket. we use Redux as I said. So I just used Axios to fetch the data.
Mhm,
In this API, we have all information about vehicles and also the maintenances. So my ticket
mhm.
was just to display the list of maintenances. It was actually very simple. So
Nice.
easy to those.
Okay. React. By the way, do you use lazy loading in your React application?
Yeah, I use.
Mhm. Why do you use it?
It already was in my project by default. I didn't touch this part because it's very
Mhm,
helpful, I guess.
mhm. Okay.
Easy. I so want to finish our interview here. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that it will be.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Do you have any questions to me? Do you have want to ask me something?
Uh, our interview was enough for me to know what I need to improve, what I need to learn more, what I need to read about these stuffs. It was my pleasure to interview by you. So thank you very much.
uh, Yeah. Okay. Don't be frustrated about the questions you couldn't answer. I asked you real life questions, and it could be challenging to answer. And of course, you didn't have answers for all of the questions. So you shouldn't be frustrated or regret that you didn't know any answer. Um,
May I ask
so,
here, where did you
yeah.
get these questions from? From just did you find it in the internet search or we have like documents?
Yeah, we have a document, and some of the questions I asked from my own experience,
Mm.
uh, especially about testing. I've been asked about testing almost every interview, technical interview. They like to see how you test your code, because in production, uh, in bootcamp we focused on building application.
Oh,
So our goal is to build, to learn how to build. In real companies, they focused on, beside building, they focused on the quality, because it should be working in production. Customers shouldn't see any bugs, shouldn't see any errors. There, you don't have a right to. I mean, bugs happen to any time, but they should be catched as much as they could be catched.
yeah.
And that's why they like to see what kind of tests do you use, because there are a lot of different tests used in production.
Really big topic to learn the testing part, like tools, testing tools, or
Uh, it is a very big topic, um, but and you can learn it a lot. But as a developer, it's okay to know unit testing and practice it a little bit, and know the idea of tests, of unit tests, and maybe some integrational tests, component tests in React. So different kind of project, they have different tests, and maybe end to end, but end to end may be run by other like people, let's say testing QE, um, QE engineer or QE department.
you see.
So end to end is good to know, but uh, like sometimes people don't run it. I mean developers.
Yeah, we had just one class about the testing. As I know, maybe it's more classes. Yeah, they explain it like in general what is just and other testing hooks.
Mhm,
I thought it's not really big topic and I can just learn it later after graduating.
mhm. Yeah, testing.
important.
I've been asked a lot. Maybe today they ask less question about testing, but I don't know. I need to go myself and go through a couple of interviews to see how it is going right now. But I'm pretty sure that they like to hear and ask about testing a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I can share these questions so you can prepare yourself. Of course, it could be even more questions to cover because you never know what they could ask you. As more question you know how to answer is better for you. But it always can be something, as I already mentioned before. Remember, I told you they asked me what kind of what is the React version do you use at your project, and I like, I don't know. And after this question, my interview was ruined because I didn't expect that. And sometimes you might have some questions you don't expect.
Do you know like the percentage? Like if you will answer like to 80% of all questions, is it good? Will they accept you in general?
I think technical part is important, but another thing you engineers take a look and pay attention is how what they like. How can you solve problems? Let's say if you can reach back to them with the questions, if you like like easy to talk person or like more behavioral part, and it matters a lot because they know if I give you example from the like real life. There was a guy who was super professional in technical um, in technical part, but he was kind of toxic, super smart but toxic person. And they decided to not to go with this guy because they didn't like him, just behavioral part.
How did they know during interview that he's toxic? He was rude or usually even rude people trying to be very friendly in interview.
You can be rude. You can behave like you know everything, even if you know everything, and like you're proud of knowing everything and thinking that other not good enough, or like talking about your company, about your team, about your colleagues and stuff like that. So they have a lot of behavioral questions. It mostly goes with the HR and manager interview, and I don't know if we can discuss it, but we'll probably come to this topic in later on, or maybe I can share with you some resources which can help you to prepare for behavioral questions too.
His interview was mock interview, right? Is it mock interview?
Yeah, this mock interview to
Uh,
train,
is
to practice.
is it with happens with recruiters or with whom? The mock interviews.
Mock interview, I mean, mock, it's like unreal interview. It's like pretending to be real, but it's not.
No, I just don't know the steps in real interview. The first will be recruiter, right? He will ask the same thing, or he will not ask about the coding part.
Recruiters, it's usually people who are not that much technical. So usually they give a lot of calls to different people and ask them high level questions about JavaScript programming and technologies. But 90, maybe, I don't know percentage, but most of the recruiters then don't have a technical background. So if you say anything, but you sound confident, is going to be okay for them, unless they know what they want to
This
hear.
kind of questions will be in technical interview, right? These questions
These,
and coding part, right? In one interview.
yeah, these kind of questions, it can be asked during the engineers interview with engineers, because only engineer and probably it's going to be those engineers you are going to be working with. So they are looking for somebody in their team, and talking to them is not just people who take a decision. It's the people who you're going to be your potential colleague. So that's why they're looking at you and say, okay, he gave a right answer, but do I want to work with this guy or not? Is he going to be a good fit for our team? Let's say our team has 5 people. Is it going to be a good guy for us or not? And he's going to be asking you a question about React and thinking, is it guy, if we're going to have a problem, is he going to be asking, or if he's going to have ticket, a very tough ticket, he's going to be reaching out to us, or he's going to be struggling himself, and he's going to be thinking about how you're going to be in their company, in their team.
See.
Mostly. Usually during interview with engineers, you might have like 1, 2 people from the team and maybe 1 supervisor or manager. But
So
and
they
I
will
had
give me some task, right, to solve, like to code, or it will be another person.
live coding can be during the interview, or sometimes they have special programs. They give you a link, you follow the link, and some like web IDE. You open the web IDE, like how you call it, where you solve your problems. Lead code, some sort of lead code or something similar to lead code, and you have a timer like 30 minutes, and you have to solve it. So it may be like that, or they can give you some challenge and say, okay, where is my mouse? They can open like new document. It's also from my own experience. Let's say, and type something and say, okay, can you like type some task, say const items equal to blah blah blah, and say, can you tell me or implement some sort of logic sorting algorithm, or, and you don't have IDE, you don't have snippets, and you have to type in Word without any like helpers to say, okay, items that map and stuff like that. So you have to do this kind of coding.
You see, it's stressful.
It's okay. You don't have to be stressed out a lot. It's actually, they are the same people, the same person. They are the same level like you. They just looking for somebody to work with. When you pass the interview, you're gonna be like colleagues, and
Yeah,
kind of, they are not superhuman to be afraid of, or like to.
I know. I'm not afraid of them. It's just like your main enemies is you, like like the
Yeah. And treat them as your friends. I mean, not like friends, but treat them friendly, starting with a recruiter and HR manager, or somebody from HR and engineers. Just try to be on the light, like to take it easy, and I don't
what
know
is
how to say, keep
better.
natural.
In our interview, you asked me some questions. I really had no idea how to answer for these questions, but I didn't say like I don't know. I didn't skip it. I tried to somehow like give some answer. Is it better to skip it, or it will be better just say I don't know, move to the next question?
It's different kind of things you can like techniques you can use in this case. Let's say they ask you 2 questions, and you don't know the questions or like you know how to answer one question and don't know how to answer the second. So you can focus on those questions you really know, and maybe, because when they ask a question, they give you like a couple of minutes to answer it, and if you answer it, they might probably gonna move to the next question. They're not gonna focus on some specific question and ask. Ah, you don't know callback functions, or you don't know use memo. Okay, tell me about use memo more. You don't know, tell me. So they're not gonna be trying to like investigate you. They just, okay, if you know. If you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know something, if it's you have to keep in mind some sort of things. Like something, it's okay for not to know. Let's say you didn't use some library formic, right? You don't, if you don't have it in your resume, it's okay to not to know it. But if you say, if in your resume you mention some tool or some technique, and you kind of mention it, and they ask you, and kind of you have to answer something.
Yeah.
But if you ask you about some like computer science question or something like related to like other fields, you say, oh, sorry, I've heard something about it, but I don't know. But or try to say something. But if you're gonna be saying just to say something, probably it's not a good idea to say something just to like.
Yeah. It was very interesting about React. So I just have a React in my resume, but React has a lot of things stuff. So I can just confuse inside my React and yeah. But for now, I think I answered for at least 30% of questions. And I tried to improve.
No, you did a good job. You answered. You tried to. You have knowledge, and you did a great job. Um, and you have to keep in mind another thing, that during the interview, not only they choosing their colleague, you choosing your colleagues as well. So you have to look at them the same way they look at you. I understand that you're looking for any job to land and to find a job, but imagine like you have few years of experience, and going to interview, you're gonna be looking at them and, okay, do I want to work with you guys or not? And you're gonna be asking them as well, So
Like
okay,
I'm in a date with the girl.
like if they say, oh, we use like they ask you about class components, and you say, oh, do you guys still using class components in your React application? And probably you wanna have answer from them, and it's okay to ask it.
All right. Thanks, Takhir, again for the interview.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely. All right. Do you guys want to take a short break and keep going with the next trainee,
yeah.
Kai or Karina?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break, or which would you like?
5 is fine with me.
Okay, 5. Okay, 5 minutes. Timer. Is it going? All right. Well, let's see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, Karina, can you hear me?
Hello, Takhir. Yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hear you well. Okay, would you like to try yourself to be interviewed?
Yeah, heads up, I haven't practiced or anything. I'm out of practice, but I just want to test my knowledge a little bit and see where I lack. So,
Okay, okay. All right. Well, in this interview, we're gonna try to make it as close as possible to a real interview, with focusing on React. But I might ask you some topics from some other fields like JavaScript and maybe HTML.
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Would you like to use your video camera, or you wanna prefer to stay like that?
I can use my camera. Here, let me see. 1 second.
Mhm.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you well. All right. Well, hello, Karina. Thank you for joining this interview today. My name is Takhir. I'm a software engineer at Say Tech company. Been working with them for 3 years, working on React. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Tahir. It was nice to meet you. My name is Karina Theodora. I'm a software engineer with 3 years of experience building uh, user interfaces, websites, web applications. I have always had a passion for software engineering ever since I was little. So I have always self-taught myself and also took a little bit of boot camp and then also have a work experience, 1 year in cargo fleet and 2 years in high-res biosolutions.
Mhm. Nice, nice. Awesome. So you have like 3 years of experience working with React, or in front end in general?
Yeah, in the front end field, more of using JavaScript, React, Redux, and all the front end libraries and tool sets used to build user-friendly web applications.
Mhm. Nice, awesome. It's exactly what kind of engineer we are looking for. Can you tell me a little bit about your project, your current project you are working on?
The current project I'm working on is, should I say high-res biosolutions, or should I say the project we're working right now?
Um,
I can just
I
say that
don't.
my previous works, right?
You say whatever you would like to mention during your interview, um, or whatever you feel confident. You can mention any of those.
Um, yeah, right now, I'm working on a project, with, no, okay, I'll just mention the high-res biosolutions. I've been recently working on building tables for my recent company. That was the recent project that I've done. What we did was build a table set using Redux and React for scientists to view their data with their products. So it's a communication between the scientists and their products. So we had to build that, and we also had to authenticate it. So that's the recent feature that I've built.
Mhm. Okay. And you're using React libraries for React and Redux, right?
React and Redux, that's correct, yeah.
Can you tell me what version of React are you using today? What is your React version?
I believe it's 16. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's okay. Sometimes they might use a different version of React.
Yeah, I believe we're using the latest version. I
The
hope.
latest? Okay. Can you tell me if you had a chance to switch your application between different React versions?
Oh, yes. Yeah, so in my previous company in Cargo Fleet, we used to use class-based React, very old version. And that caused a lot of difficulties, such as just the developers. It's a lot of complicated code, like we always had to use this, or we always had to use class and constructors, and also it's not really ideal. And so switching over to functional components really saved our production as developers, and also improved a lot of our readability, and also our um, mm, speed of our website due to all these hooks and um, yeah, the hooks that helps us prevent re-renders. So that was really nice, but it was kind of tricky switching over, making all these components and structuring them, and planning the components, and turning over from class to functional. But it did help us out in the end. It was for a greater cause.
Nice, nice. What kind of problems did you face in switching between component to functional? Can you mention if you have any?
Definitely a lot of failed tests. We had to write new unit tests, and also just the logic a little bit, you know. We had to alter a little bit of logic, create extra little custom hooks for some components to render correctly.
Oh, you just mentioned custom hooks. Can you tell me a little bit about the custom hooks? Maybe you can mention one if you created one lately.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Usually I always deal with refactoring code and creating helper functions when I refactor my code, because I want my component to be purely with the logic separate and the component separate. So in order to do that, I would always refactor our components to only hold logic in our custom hooks, and everything else component based in the component, like the end designs or stuff like that. So it's very readable, and the logic and the objects are separated.
Okay. Okay, nice. All right. Can you tell me why you're using Redux in your application? What is the benefits it gives you?
Redux could be complicated to implement, of course, but since our project has already had it from the beginning, it's now very hard to switch back. But also we don't need to switch back because it's very efficient for a big project like ours. It helps us centralize and manage the state applications, and it's very easy to keep track. And also it helps us with the data flow. So I believe us using Redux is really good for our company. And even though it could be complicated and more extra steps, it's better for a big project like this to manage our states.
Mhm. Nice, nice. Do you use any other tool to manage your state?
We have used context API, but it's rarely because we deal more with tables and models for my company, so we use more of Redux.
Nice. Can you tell me why you're trying to get rid of context API?
In our project,
Yeah.
it could be hard to keep track of your data, especially for other developers onboarding. It could be hard, and also it wouldn't manage it as strictly as Redux does. So it could be harder for developers to keep track of the data flow. So I think us using Redux is a way better option. And also it gives you errors anyway if you mess up even a little bit, you know? So it's very strict on which data goes where and which data is updating. So I think we shouldn't be using context API in this case. But if we were using like a smaller project, then I would advise context API.
Okay, nice, nice. Can you tell me if you use any other libraries in your project other than React and Redux?
I'm like not sure, but InDesign, we use InDesign a lot. I'm not sure if it's a library, but we do use that to build most of our models, tables, just the structure of our website.
It's for styles, right?
It's also for styles. It's also like a bootstrap, but for React
React.
applications. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between React and some other front-end frameworks, like if you know any other?
So what I do know, I know that there are other libraries and frameworks. I think what's best about React is that it has a virtual DOM and its data flows one directional, and it's very good with it's very sufficient on the rendering of the applications because of its fake, well, not fake DOM, virtual DOM, and it's very component based rather than a single unit application. So it makes it very faster and also very easy to keep track for the developers and for the user. So it's very user friendly. So that's why I would advise using React, but I do know that Angular and Vue are very similar. So I'm also in the process of getting to know those frameworks and libraries as well.
Do you have any experience working with Angular or Vue?
I do not, but I do know that it's
Okay.
very similar. I have in my own personal time tried to use Vue, and I see that it is very similar to React. So it's easy for me to catch on, but in the logicality of things, I still have more to learn on how it operates.
Honestly, I don't have any experience with Vue. Was just curious. Can you tell me if your project has any server-side rendering, or it's 100% client-side rendering?
Can you evaluate more on that?
Yeah. Do you use any server-side components in your application?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. Okay, that's fine. All right. What kind of tests do you run in your application? Can you tell me?
Yeah, we run unit tests with Jest, and we do snapshot tests as well. And then just the overall debugging tests to see how the application's running, and of course just the functionality tests with all of our websites. We try it with Mozilla, we try it with Safari, and all these websites to see how it's functioning, and also mobile app. It's to see if it's user friendly, websites friendly, and also tests are test friendly. Of course, we get it checked by the QA after as well.
Mhm. Right. Okay. So you use React testing library and Jest?
Yes.
Yeah. What is the difference between React testing library and Jest? Why you use both? Can you just say again? You probably mentioned, but can you just specify?
I personally like Jest because it goes through it kind of creates like a mock page of your page, a mock kind of like a virtual dump, but it's for its own testing. So I love it because it creates a little mock data, creates a little mock everything, just so it knows that it works perfectly in the testing side of things. And it even takes snapshots to compare your real component versus the Jest component. So I love the way that it tests really thoroughly. And if it doesn't, if the fails test, it doesn't even show your component, it doesn't even render it. And that's the best part because it's very strict on all these tests passing or not. Versus the React testing, it doesn't it's not as strict, I believe. But yeah, this is why we use Jest more. Well, this is why personally I use Jest more to test my components.
Good. Nice. Okay. Do you have you ever had any cross browser issues with your applications, and how you handled it?
Cross browser, like when I was testing in other browsers. I believe there was a problem with our tables and just how it's like structured. There was like minor styling issues. And I have it is very tricky when it comes to styling. I'm not gonna lie. So I used a lot of consoling and a lot of searching for in our and design, a lot of reading on how it affects the cross browser differently, the styles. So I had to just eventually style it in my own ways, different than and design to fix that problem, and it worked. Because InDesign doesn't really support sometimes cross-browser user friendliness when it comes to styling. So I had to create my own styling sheet with SCSS.
Oh, you're using SCSS?
Yes, it's better than the regular CSS or anything because it creates variables that could be very dynamically used, and it saves a lot of time for other developers as well in the future when they want to use it. You could just use my variables. I have already solved the logic for it.
Okay, I got it. Let's talk a little bit about components. What is a dummy component in React? Can you tell me?
Did you say dynamic?
Dummy components. Have you heard about that?
Dummy components?
Yes, dummy.
I don't think I have heard about those.
Okay. All right. And what is the difference between use effect and use state hooks?
Use effect and
Why do you
use
want to use them? Go ahead.
First of all, use effects is more of like a component life cycle helper thing, like to replace the component life cycle methods that we used to use when we had a class-oriented React. And so now that we're using functional, it is a way to control those lifecycle methods. So we use the use effect. So it helps with the rendering process of things to save our time and also to stop and measure our rendering processes. With the use state, it's very different from a use effect in the matter that it manages the data and it helps us keep track of what we're changing in our data and which data we're changing. It kind of just holds the data or it helps us with the manipulation of things.
Yeah. I got it. All right. Well, probably not the last. Okay, not last. Okay, you already mentioned that you about the performance. Can you tell me how you measure a performance of your application in your project?
Yeah, of course, we use React toolsets to manage our performance, and also we do our own little test, acting like we are the customer. We try to break our website on purpose and see like what kind of bugs we can face, what kind of bugs we can find, or what kind of issues with the performance we can see, and also with our codes as well. Of course, with our tests. And you could kind of see how long each process is taking. And also with the React helping tool sets, it always measures the time and will tell you. So it's nice to keep track from there.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, do you use built-in tools in browser, right? In Chrome browser.
Yeah, built-in tools like the React toolbars.
Nice. All right. And probably the last question: what kind of API you use in your project, and how do you handle this API on the front end part?
We have our own Swagger API, and we keep track of the things from when we want to test it. We use Postman, and yeah, that's how we use it. And if you're talking about the fetching process, we use Axios.
Do you use REST API or you use some sort of other APIs?
No, yeah, we use a REST API, but we also have our from our special Swagger API created from our backend developers. But it does bring back a promise, and we do have to do our tests, and for that process we use Postman.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, do you have any questions to me?
Question would be, how big is your team?
What is my team?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a team of 5 engineers, and we are focused on building our UI part related. We have actually another team working on mobile side, and they developing a mobile application, but we are focused on the web version. Me and 4 more my colleagues. I was not ready for this question.
No, but yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for taking your time. Where do you think I should improve on? I know I missed the React Demi thing. I don't know what that is. I should search that. But where else do you think I should improve on?
It's not a big deal actually. React dummy component, it's a component which doesn't have any logic or like data fetching or props. It's just to print, let's say, the sign. So it can be called a dummy component. So it doesn't do any actions, just print. Or
It
pure
just
component.
prints? Oh, okay, I see. And then the React version, that's where I failed as well, right? Should I have said the
React
latest
version
18 or something?
React version is actually a very interesting question because developers, they try to optimize and improve their front-end applications. And I believe as soon as the new version of React is released, companies try to implement new version. And when I asked engineers who work in the front end, when I was asked this question, and I know why I was asked this question during my interview, because at that time, 18th version was just released, and they probably were switching to new version. Because people, if they have a newer version, they probably gonna try to like update. And sometimes it may cause some issues. And the engineer from interview, they asked me about the version stuff, and like it's good to know what version you're using. And
Okay,
if you
I
say
see.
it's too old, because during my interview, I was like, I don't know. I have to open my working computer and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, you don't know. It was hard to believe.
Yeah, I see. And which questions do you think I need to work on that I didn't really do great?
I think you did. You answered majority of my questions. You explained. Maybe if you could ask me some questions during, like, to keep a dialogue. Sometimes
keep
if
it
you could
on.
ask me a question in return, maybe
Mhm.
specify questions.
Specify.
It could be a good addition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Good
much,
job.
Takhir, for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We are going with Kai and Ayan. Would you like to be next, Kai?
If Ayana wants to go, if not, I can go next.
I'm sorry, Tahir. Sorry, Gaia. Today I'm not ready. I'm sorry. I didn't prepare.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
think
prepare?
nobody prepared, but yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. If you want to use your camera, that would be awesome.
Oh,
If you want to
yeah,
do it like that,
sure.
it's okay as well.
Sure, yeah, seeing that I'm not cheating. So first of all, before we start, Victor and Karina, you did great job. I was listening you guys, and I impressed really. So everything was not perfect, but everything was good. In general, I like the Victor's confident responses.
Thank you, guys.
And yeah, you know a
Thank you.
lot. Yeah, really. Yeah, because I'm not prepared to. So yeah, and Karina, you're confident too, and you show real. Yeah, so you already have that real experience, and yeah, we can see that. And thank you. It was helpful for me to get some ideas and understand and to know how to answer the different questions.
Yeah,
And
of
yeah,
course. Thank you.
now I can try, do my best. I'm not prepared, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but I will try.
Yeah, Karina, I like your answers too. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. You did a great job, guys. I'm agree. I approve.
Yeah.
I approve this.
I approve this mess.
Okay. Mhm. All right. Well, thank you, Kai, for joining in this interview. My name is Takhir. I'm a software engineer of Cargo of Emplosoft Enterprise Technologies, and we're going to pass today's interview for front-end React developer position. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you, Tahir, for having me on this interview. And my name is Kazbek. So everybody calls me Kai. So I've been working in IT in the software development for a long time, for 8 years. But for the last 4 years, I'm working as a front-end software engineer. But I started my career in IT as a QA engineer, as a QA, so in the testing field, and I tested all the different front end and as back end kind of application. But for the last 4 years, I'm working with JavaScript and React and building the web applications and working for the life insurance industry.
Mhm. Nice. What made you switch from QA to testing? Sorry, from testing to front-end development.
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, when I just came to the United States, it was the easiest way to enter to the IT field because I had kind of limited English skills language, and I needed to brush up my technical skills, and it was good start to start as a QA engineer, and then switch to the developer. But it was a good path for me because I know all the yeah, different sides of the software development process from testing to development.
Mhm. Okay, so you kind of yeah, I think that testers and developers, front-end developers, they both on API consuming side, so they have to take the API from backend and do something with data,
Yep.
which is kind of makes sense. Okay, so you said you work as a front-end engineer. Can you tell me a little bit about the project you work on right now?
Yeah, right now, so lately I'm working on the life insurance platform application. So we are so this is converting from the legacy code, so using the front end as a new front end, so yeah, framework or library like React, after to solve some performance related issues which was having with using the older code base. And so I'm working on the underwriting application. So the underwriting part, yeah, we have several teams in our company, but our team where I'm working, we are focused on underwriting team, and we are providing and supporting the dashboard and case management system and automatic and manual management of the cases. And we are providing the platform or application for the underwriters, advisors, agents who is working on this underwriting field.
So you do some web application for insurance companies and insurance their clients, right?
Yep. It is for
Nice.
the our clients are underwriters specifically, and it's more kind of internal internal applications for the insurance companies. Yep.
Oh, I see. So it's not like public. You cannot see it. So like anybody cannot see it, right?
No, it's only available for underwriters, managers, and some advisors.
Can you tell me, is accessibility matters in your case for your application? Do you have accessibility test?
This in this project, yeah, it doesn't much matter. So we don't much work and care about that accessibility stuff and also mobile thing because it's a business applications which are mostly used on the computers, on the desktops. And but yeah, we have some kind of minimum standards of accessibility to using the semantic HTML tags, and to make sure if in case kind of some pictures or something not showing up, just to make sure. But yeah, we don't have strict requirements on that accessibility because it's only used by specific people, not by public.
Nice. Okay, and you say you use some semantic elements. So do you work on semantic elements, or you have somebody like do you hire some like third party to work on this semantic, or you do it on your own?
No, we have in the company we have a CSS library, which is managed and maintained by designers, by designer team, and they create that CSS internal libraries, and that library is based on they use it, and it's created based on Material UI and Tailwind and maybe some other tools, but we only use those CSS styles which is provided by designers.
Oh, what kind of, you say you use Material UI and Bootstrap all together, or you use
No,
something else?
the Material UI and Tailwind, which compatible with each other. In some cases we use, it's kind of adding up in some, if we need so yeah, we have a ready to use Material UI components, but if we need to do some kind of additional changes, we can do it using Tailwind, shading or changing in classes.
Okay, yeah, sounds great. Can you tell me about the web development tools or dev dependencies or like dev tools you use for your applications?
Can you please elaborate on that? Dev tools means libraries, so development libraries, or just general, so technical stack?
Like development helpers and dev tools, like testing libraries or some builders,
Okay.
linters.
Okay, in the code, right? Okay, got it. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Yeah, we for example, for testing, we use yeah, we have different levels of testing in our development process. We have unit testing, we have integration test, so component testing for our React, and in our company, yeah, we have integration testing also, which is so yeah. In our front end team, we use front unit testing and component testing mainly. And then we also have end-to-end testing, but which is maintained and managed by QA team using Cypress. But we have, yeah, we have it in our pipeline. We can't merge any code without passing that part. But in our side, we also have automated unit testing and component testing with Jest and React testing library, and which also in our CI pipeline, which runs automatically as soon as we push the code.
Nice, awesome. Can you tell me about the life cycle of the feature you do in your company? Like how the life cycle of feature or ticket?
Ticket on Jira or feature?
Like your assessment, your task, or what? like let's say you have a task.
Oh, okay. From
You have
where
enough
it
time.
begins and okay. Yeah, everything started in the yeah, everything is this yeah, started in in the company wise based on the annual priorities, which features we'll be working based on the requirements from the clients, and we have, for example, for this year, different kind of features to work on, and based on that company priorities, we have for our team, we have our own priorities and underwriting team, and we have a backlog of that, all the different tickets to work on. So and in every sprint, so our product manager do the prioritization of the tickets and adds up. And we have, so before starting every sprint, we have grooming sessions. And during the grooming sessions, we do the grooming or kind of as a product owner presents us different tickets, which is coming up on the pipeline to work on the next sprints. And we have a chance as a developer, as a QA, as a designers, so everything can have a chance to clarify and have understanding. And every developer or every test also engineer, they have to understand all the tickets which are coming on the pipeline, because we never know who will be working on that ticket, and we can ask questions, clarify, and then later on, and so we will pick or assign the tickets and start working on that grooming, and then the development of the ticket, and then after development we have a QA testing during the sprint, and after QA approved, our tickets merged to the development branch, and it goes to the after development branch, it goes to the QA what is it, a UAT environment, user acceptance environment, and in the end of every sprint we have release testing for the whole, all the tickets combined for the release, and we have also one more additional after UAT. We have client side UAT kind of testing. So release candidate is deployed to another kind of UAT from client side, and it tested there, and then if pass, everything goes to production. And in production, when it goes production, our so product owner and QA testers are verify and confirm it that everything is working on production, and if there is no issue, that we are done with that, done with that ticket.
Nice. Thank you for such a detailed explanation of the whole process on each stage. It was very informative. You use Agile, right?
Yep, Agile, 2-week sprints.
Yeah, nice. Oh, okay. What days actually you have start your sprint? What days a week?
So excuse me, can you? I
What
didn't
day
hear your
of
question.
what day of week you have your sprint start?
Oh, we have cut off at on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. cutoff time, and then the next day Thursdays start the new sprint every Thursday. Because yeah, that was a special plan, because we have, so when the sprint is done on Wednesdays in the mid-noon, so we have before the weekend, so QA have 2 days of testing and completing until the end of Friday. We have time to test and approve.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your answer. Can you tell me why are you using React library? What benefits it gives you in your application? in your project, I mean.
You mean why we are using React library than others? So
Yeah,
why
what
not?
is then why not Angular or Vue?
So yeah, that so actually, it's actually our company is switching from so migrating from Angular front end to React because we had some performance related issues on the front end, and then after analyzing different stuff, and also Angular is not updating, I believe. I'm not, so I don't know about the details, but so in the company wise it was decided, okay, so we will be switching to React because it showed the so better performance on the UI side. And switching, that's why we are now switching and using because we are kind of in a halfway, so migrating from the front, so all the front end from Angular to React.
Do you use some other libraries in your project besides React?
I'm not sure about that, but as I know, these three main teams are using, so everybody is switching from, so yeah, Angular, yeah, we use Angular as now as the legacy, but we are switching from Angular to React. But
I mean, library in your React application, not in general, but in your React application, do you use?
Libraries in, okay, library, React libraries, you mean, right?
Yeah, what kind of libraries do you use in your
Okay,
project, in this project?
For the yeah, we use Redux for state management. We use it's a REST API, so Axios for fetching data. We use so router, and we use also, I believe, React tables library to create the tables. What do we use else? So testing libraries, yeah, we use it. What other libraries we use? Yeah, I don't remember on top of my head, but these are main so libraries.
Do you use TypeScript in your project?
Yes, so yeah, we switched recently from JavaScript to TypeScript.
What is what is like a benefits of TypeScript? Can you mention just real quick on the fly?
Yeah, with JavaScript, we were having a lot of different issues with data type changing on the fly. So, and we were having some kind of issues, and so company and teams are decided to switch to TypeScript to manage so different data types more strictly.
Okay. Can you tell me about the router? Do you use router in your React application?
Yep, we use router.
How do you like it, actually, personally?
Personally, I think, yeah, I like it. It gives it gives a feeling of that that application is not just a single page application. It is more kind of multiple page applications, and it is easier to navigate to the different parts of the platform. It's application for our users. Then, yep. And also it's good. Sorry.
What is a common problem did you face with the React router? Did you have any problems with that?
React router. I think, yeah, we had some problems, especially during in the beginning of the implementation. Yeah, we started using the older version of React, and then the new version of React came up with that create what is it? Create root or create something like that with a singleton approach. And so we had, yeah, since we are just migrating and we're just developing. So our tech lead mentioned that we need to use this technology for tomorrow, right? Now, so we used to use the latest versions of this, our libraries and tools. So we had to switch from all. We had some kind of challenges, but other than that, I don't. I don't remember that we had a kind of big problems, but yeah, I think it little bit helped in our performance because now with React Router we are using a lazy, what is that? Lazy loading
Mhm.
as a process, and it gives a little better performance on our application.
Yep. All right. Okay. Can we talk a little bit about React hooks? Do you know what is the use state hook and why it's necessary?
Yeah, use state we use to manage our state. So yeah, data, how it's changing during in the application. It's for the state management and rendering based on the changes on that state.
Mhm. What is the difference between use state and use reducer?
Excuse me, use state and which one?
And use reducer.
Use reducer.
Reducer?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think, yeah, so I believe both of them are used for the state management, but use state is when use state is to manage this state of data, but use reducer is when any changes happen in use state, it's gonna re-render that component based on any
Mhm.
changes, which is indicated as a dependency for use reducer.
Mhm. Okay. And you're familiar with class-based components, or you work just with functional?
Oh no, since we are just started using few years ago, yeah, we started using the functional components from the beginning.
Mhm. Okay. So can you tell me how would you interact with component lifecycle, or what methods do you know in lifecycle?
In life cycle.
Component
Yeah,
lifecycle.
I think you, that's a good question, but yeah, I don't remember on top of my head, but I think there is a use, it's not mounting, unmounting in the life cycle. It was more used in the class components. It was more kind of used more, but with this functional components, yeah, yeah, as a developers, I think we don't much care about that. But yeah, so when you it's gonna every component has a life cycle like mounting and up. What does that say? The phase in the middle when you're rendering showing up, and then unmounting when it's done.
Mhm. Why is unmount necessary? Did you have a chance to use unmount cycle? Like,
Yep. Yeah, unmount is necessary. Yeah, because during the I don't remember, but the unmount is necessary because if you if we leave the components unmounted, it's gonna be end up giving a lot of memory leak and and stay in in our memory so if we not close them.
Okay. All right. And could you give me some details about virtual DOM concept in React? And what is the difference virtual DOM in Angular?
Angular, I can speak about Angular, but I can speak about React. So I think the virtual DOM made React, so like React, it's just a famous like React because it it made the rendering process fast, and the virtual DOM is a kind of object where all the nodes, all the information is kind of, it saves copy of the real DOM, and from JavaScript, from React, it's easier to have access and see is there any changes happening. And yeah, it makes the application re-rendering process really fast. And it also allows application only update not the whole page, but the only some different components where it should be re-rendered.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
by comparing and so React, yeah, I believe React, that's virtual DOM and real DOM use a diffing algorithms. Yeah, they compare each other, and that makes
Mhm.
it unique.
Yeah. Okay. Can you give me a couple of ideas how to optimize or maybe improve performance of the React application?
I think, yeah, there are different approaches and ways to optimize, and one of the approach can be using router and lazy loading, and another approach using hooks like use memo, use callback, and I think React memo. Yeah, maybe there are more different approaches, but yeah, as I know, these two approaches can be used for better performance.
Mhm. Okay. And do you say you measure your performance on your application? What tools do you use for that?
For performance, yeah, when we did performance testing with QA team and with other teams in a cooperation, so we used Lighthouse extension to Chrome.
Mhm.
Also, QA team collected a lot of metrics during the testings, and we had to have a kind of metrics before and check it after
Mhm.
anything done, and also we for doing the performance testing we used our Cypress end-to-end testing, and the QA engineers, automation engineers, they run so they run the different number of users yeah, in the same time to see how much users can handle during the same time. And it was a kind of a combination of different things, but every time product managers were collecting all the metrics and looking at the metrics, how it's done before, after, or so yeah, whenever we did this performance testing.
Do you have a high value of users of your applications?
We didn't, yeah, we don't have high value, but even so, we started having performance issues even with 100. I don't know. So yes, so yeah, when more than 100 underwriters are working at the same time, it was not high number, but it was giving a performance issues. That's why they did a different kind of in investigations why it's happening, and it was usually the performance issues in the production. It was happening during the morning times when everybody comes in the job and started opening up I don't know, was opening up the underwriting platform and started working on a different thing. It was specific times in the mornings when everybody opens up that, and yeah, I think now we resolved it and it's more or less better shape. But this is our one of the high priorities and challenges to make the performance better.
Nice, good. All right, looks like I got all the questions I wanted to ask you. And could you give me, could you tell me any, like, what kind of problems can you face with using JavaScript?
Yeah, JavaScript was giving us a lot of different kind of issues, but but on top my on top of my head, I have a couple of them. One of them was yeah, I think I already mentioned in the beginning. So it was the data type related issues. So when the data type it was changing, so in our code, so from one type to another type, that was unmanaged and was giving some issues with that, and that's why we switched to to TypeScript, and it helped to resolve those kind of issues. And also another was browser compatibility related issues. Yeah, but so we didn't have much. We don't have much users, but we had some issues with browsers. Some our underwriters was using so Explorer. Internet Explorer, which was installed in there, and then some were using Chrome, and we started having some issues with users who used Internet Explorer. I think it was related to Java and maybe some Internet Explorer, but that question was just changed based on the policy. So on the company, then everybody has to use the Google Chrome for that, and it helped to resolve that issue.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Do you have any questions to me, to our team, to our company about our project?
Yep. Yeah, I have a few questions to clarify. Yeah. What is what skills and competencies should have ideal candidates should have for this position?
Ideal candidate would have a very strong fundamental programming knowledge, of course, with expertise in JavaScript. And we are using also TypeScript, but it's highly recommended to have, but not a deal breaker. We give a time to cover this topic and cover TypeScript. Problem-solving abilities to be able to reach out to your colleagues to solve the problem and find the solution, and probably like ambitious to work and be a part of the team. It's something comes to my mind right now.
Okay, and do you have any, what kind of expectations do you have from this person, for example, in terms of, so are you setting up any goals, for example, what this person, you are expecting from this developer in 6 months, in a year, in 1 month, in 6 months, in a year, what should so this developer be able to do in your company?
Yeah, we do have expectation to be and deliver deliver the solutions for problem solving. And actually, we have like monthly and quarterly performance review where we can discuss with each of our team member its goals, its achievements and accomplishment. So we do it like pretty much regularly. And the main expectation is to be part of the team and deliver the product within the time frame to our customer.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. And yeah, based on the information, yeah, I would love to work in your company, and I've learned a little bit on the website, and I did reviews, and looks like it's a great place to work, and I like your product, and I would love to be part of this team.
Yeah, thank you. Our HR manager going to call you as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have to make a decision with our team. All right. Yeah. Thank you for interview. For your answers, you did a good job. Yeah. Nice. I asked you a little bit more over than just a React about the project management and stuff like that. I see you have a very strong knowledge about all these processes. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Good job, Kai. You're hired.
Yeah, so I hope that this information is. Thank you, Karina. So yeah, so Takhir hire so everyone in this room. We're gonna be good team.
6 figures. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You know, what I would like to mention, maybe it's not about you, but in general, when you prepare the answer about your project or about what you do, especially when they ask you about your project, it's you probably want to say, I was working with hooks, doing some like tasks, like solving some issues, troubleshooting and stuff like that. But I would suggest to prepare, like to structure your answer to describing your project, what does it solve, let's say, because they might understand what you're saying, but if you go too much into details in the beginning, it might be like not so clear in the beginning. Let's say, I would recommend to say like what problems your application solves. Let's say our application is designed to make the world better. I mean, like not that much. I mean, to design or invented to help people to like keep count of their fleet, of their vehicles. Or so what your application does, why it's important, something like cool thing about your application. Then you can mention on a higher level those tools and technologies you use in your application, especially if you read a job description before you go to interview. You can mention that one they are looking for. Let's say they're looking for somebody with Redux. You probably have to mention, yeah, React, Redux, and stuff like that. Or if you didn't have Redux and GraphQL, so probably you can still mention Redux, but like list like the tools of what you use and make your like answer like very like compact but very informative. So it's not a perfect example, but something like, yeah, my application is designed to help companies to keep record of their vehicles, keep record of their transportation companies, to keep record of their drivers, to help companies to save money on maintenance or like organizing the process, and maybe calculate some expenses related to the vehicle. So like saying that, you can say why your application is nice, why is like your product is good. Then, and to achieve this, to build up this application, we're using React library Redux. Also, we use Material UI for styling. Actually, we use some custom styles and things like that. And maybe add something else, like make it like minute or two. Okay. And when in the end of the interview, they're going to say, hey, this guy from the company which saves money to trackers, those guy was like, they can going to associate you with the product a little bit. It's one of my recommendation. Okay, so we spoke to Ayan. Do you guys have any more? Do we have any more volunteers?
Yeah, thank you, Tahir. It was a good experience and practice. And thank you, the guys before me. It really helped.
Yeah, your answers was good. So I think Ayan looks right only.
Ayan.
No worries, Ayan. I also nobody was not prepared. I didn't know that today we'll have interview about React, and it will be better for you.
Try.
It just doesn't matter how you will answer. It's just in your case.
Thank you, Vector, but I'm not today really ready. I'm still working on my history.
Making your story.
Yeah, making good
Creating.
story.
Okay, right, good story.
Mhm.
All right then. Cool. Well, I'm going to stop recording. Yep.